Hello, warriors, and welcome to another week with me, Susie Barolo, Certified Life and Wellness Coach. I am thrilled that you are here. I'm honored that you take your time to listen, and I really try each week to bring you just top quality content that will help you in your life as you strive to be that best individual that you are. You are here, you're unique, and I just love that we're all on this planet together at the same time. So listen in, because this week is all about taking action. And let me see if I just moved too high in my screen, but we spend so much of our life talking about what we want to do, reading about what we want to do, discussing with others what we might someday do. But you know what we don't spend a lot of our time doing? Doing things. We don't spend a lot of our time in the doing. We don't spend a lot of our time taking action, doing something new, or doing something we always have done in a different way. Why is this a problem? For one, we're here to evolve. As I've told you many times, if we are not growing, we are shrinking. But the other main reason that really might be of interest to some of you is our daily experience. It tends to be stress. If we have a lot of things that we know we want to do or we should do and we are not doing them, it creates stress, an unbelievable amount of stress, and it actually eats away at our self-esteem. When we know what we want to do but we're not doing it, we let ourselves down every single time. Last blog I was talking about 8 habits for happier days. One of them is to do what you say you're going to do. So if you say you're going to wake up at 7, wake up at 7. Do it. When we know what to do, but we're not doing it, we create stress, internal stress in our system, which can show up externally as diseases and hair falling out and all sorts of stuff. Maybe we fill our calendars with what to do, but we're not doing it. We can't do that new thing, or maybe we drink enough wine at night, so we numb ourselves out to believe that we don't really need to make a change at work or in our marriage. Trouble is, you're not fooling anyone, certainly not yourself. So why aren't we doing what we know we should be doing, quote unquote, should? In my experience, I've found that I don't take action because of 4 certain things. So number 1, confidence. I don't trust my own inner guidance or my own opinion. My inner warrior, I call her. I think when I don't take action, I think I have to ask everyone else their opinion about what action I'm going to make. This can be something small, like which calendar I should buy, or it could be something massive, as in, should I end my marriage? This comes from my childhood and messaging. I'm well aware of where it comes from. I didn't know, the messaging for me was that I didn't know what was right for me in that situation. I was taught, let me do it for you. How can we stop passing this programming down to our kids? We can keep our mouths shut when they ask us a question. We can not jump in or fix or help them in whatever situation they're in. Obviously, if they're in danger, help them. But if they're like, Mom, what do I do in this friendship situation? Turn it around. Say, what do you think you should do? Let's see. Whenever they ask us for help or advice, first, let's remind them that they have all the answers inside of them. Now, I was just talking about a parent and a kid. You can do this with your friends too, and with yourself. So when you think like, oh, Susie, should I do that? Be like, Susie, what do you think? Let's ask. And I don't know is not an answer. Not an answer. We can remind ourselves and those around us that they know what's best for them better than anyone else, including me. I know what's best for me. You know what's best for you. When we support our children's decisions and other people's decisions and our decision, it's a great lesson on how to move forward. So that's one reason why I don't take action, is confidence. The other reason is fear of failure. I haven't taken action in the past because I've been afraid of doing the wrong thing. Because my confidence used to be low, I was constantly looking externally for validation that I was okay, that I was a good person. I was so afraid of making a mistake or doing something wrong because that's how I felt love from my family of origin. I was praised for the A+ actions and shamed for the other actions. About 10 years ago, a dear friend said to me, Susie, it would be okay if you were wrong every once in a while. What she meant is, hey, I don't have to be perfect all the time. What? For real? I can make mistakes and life won't end? I can make mistakes and I won't lose all my friends? This passing comment helped me transform how I view failure. In doing something that doesn't work or not doing something as well as possible, I can learn how to do it better the next time. Imagine that. I don't need to be so afraid of screwing up, because screwing up actually helps me learn. Even better, guys, when I do let go of that fear of failure and fear of not doing things perfectly, I actually get to do more things in my life. If I'm not so afraid of doing something perfectly, I change my focus from perfection to the experience and what I can learn from that process. I'm more apt to try things that scare me because I'm less critical when I fail. I'm less critical of myself. I now view fear as a sign being sent to me, like a green light from the universe. So when I feel fear, one of the best books I ever read was by Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. When I feel fear, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going in the right area. Obviously not if I'm like on the top of a mountain, but well, if I went up top, maybe it scares me to climb the mountain. So yeah, go up there. I am not getting off topic. I'm more apt to push my limits if my goal is to learn rather than my goal is to be perfect. And I can recognize that failure is not a character flaw. If I do end up losing friends because I'm not perfect, those were not the friends I was meant to have. All right? If my goal is perfection, I'm going to stay in my safe little box and pretend all is well. If I let go of my fear of failure, I find opportunities to push myself and to grow. Failing is an opportunity to learn. Do more, fail more, be more. That's how we get to start to take action. Be okay with failing. The third way, decision fatigue. Another reason I didn't take action, or I don't take action, is when I give myself too many choices. Do you know that Steve Jobs and Einstein both wore, Steve Jobs, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, the same thing to work every day? Yeah, it wasn't because they hate doing laundry or because they lacked imagination. I mean, those two, they didn't lack imagination. Rather, they chose to save their brain power for more important things. In this day and age, more than 400 billion pieces of information pass by our brain every second. Every second. How do we manage this mind so we don't go absolutely batty? One way is to limit the decisions we need to make. Pare down the clothes in your closet, the utensils in your kitchen, the activities on your calendar, the apps on your phone, the times you even walk into a store. And limit the people you talk to before making a decision. Remember that last one. You have all the answers inside of you. You don't need to ask all these different people. Last year, I chose to leave a job that I had been in and had been a wonderful piece of my life for 11 years and dive fully into life coaching. In the past, I would have asked every single friend in my circle and spent many, many evenings debating whether to leave or not with my family. Would have taken up a lot of my time and energy farming out everyone's opinions and seeing what they thought and, you know, let's cue into them and all that time. This time, I tuned into my inner warrior. I got down, I journaled, I did some thought thinking, I worked through it, and I chose what was best for me, what was best for me as a mom, best for me as a businesswoman, and best for me as the primary breadwinner in my family. A decision that may have taken months was made in an instant. My gut, soul, and inner warrior were all aligned, and I had that feeling. I knew what was right. I could feel that inner peace. Have you ever made a decision like that? It feels so darn good. It's scary. It's scary, and you have to manage the mind. What if it's wrong? But it's like, okay, what if it's wrong? It goes back to my friend. You know, you're able to make a mistake. What if you leave your job? Well, it's been wonderful. So what's the worst that can happen? You have extra free time? Oh, that would be such a shame. No, seriously. So there you go. Yes, there was fear and discomfort, but that I know the fear and discomfort comes when I am about to grow or do something different. I knew my reasons for leaving, and I didn't need to share them with anyone else to feel validated. I didn't need to explain myself. I just was very calm and cool. No drama needed. It's time for me to move on. After years of therapy, coaching, and many self-help books, I now realize my opinion is the one that matters. I now value my opinion and my views about what I'm doing in my life more than anyone else's. That's a big one. My inner warrior knows what's best for me, better than any article, any book, any friend, or any family member. Instead of wasting my time trying to read this to see if it's the right choice, or investigate that, or oh, I need one more book or one more class before I start, or I need to talk to one more person, I stop and I tune into myself and my own inner guidance, and I make the decision. When I can let go of other people's opinions, I am free to live a life that is right for me and in alignment with my values. Plus, I save a lot of time. Number 4 reason why I often would not make change or still resist change. Change is hard. True. Okay, it is. Our brains are wired to do 3 things. They're wired to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and to be efficient. What does this mean for us when we go to change an aspect of our life? Well, our brain is wired to resist us. It's a very powerful tool, and it will come in with these voices like, oh, Susie, you don't want to do that. Oh, didn't you think of this? Oh, that's scary. Oh, goodness. Our brain is wired to resist us, so that means change actually is hard. I've written many posts on how our brains have not evolved since cavewomen days, and this is another example of that. Our brain is wired to keep us alive and to survive our day. But it doesn't look into like what's best for Susie in this situation. It's let's just keep doing the same thing we've always been doing over and over. She's still alive, right? Okay, so since we're no longer being chased by tigers every day, at least I'm not, and we can move out of that fight or flight syndrome, it's up to us to override our DNA. It's up to us to understand how our brain is working. Once we understand how it's working, we can expect the discomfort and push back and hey, do it anyway. Expecting the pushback from our brain, we can move forward into action with understanding that yes, initially it will be hard, but down the road, it'll be easier. For most of my life, I resisted speaking up to my father and my, at the time, husband for myself and my needs. I told myself it was too hard to change, and it was easier to go along and just be agreeable and do what they wanted me to do. And yes, when I started to speak up and say what was going on for me and my experience there, it was very hard. The hardest thing I've done, okay, still to this day, yet, so that was hard, yet my life is 100 times easier today because I have done it. So when you take those steps, those little steps, they are hard in the beginning, ease is on the other side. I often think of water like coming into sort of a dam and it's all turbulent. You have to go through that little area and then it's peace. Think of something as simple as making a spreadsheet for a carpool, okay? Hard initially to put together. You have to get all the columns, all the rows right, everyone's information, share it, get the days of practices, blah, blah. Okay, a little hard. After you have it going, boom, it runs for the year, makes things so much easier. Ignore all these little texts going back and forth. Check the doc, okay, it's good, great. Just an example. Sometimes takes a little effort to get things going. On the other side of this, that discomfort is ease, growth, and involvement. Feels wonderful. So I just encourage you to call yourself out on your BS and your brain. When your brain is like, oh, it's too difficult. It's like, yeah, it's okay. I can do hard. We can do hard things. I'm here to encourage you to try it, to adopt that mantra. I heard a great quote that if you're only willing to do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you're willing to do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's encouraging to me. Okay, so warriors, where can you take action today? You know those 4 things that are holding you back from making a change, but then you know that by not changing, you're adding stress to your life and you're not evolving and cutting down on your confidence. So not a good thing. So where can you make change? A sneaky way for you to figure out where you might be able to make change is to ask yourself any of these questions. What do I complain about? Where am I unhappy in my life? Where in my day or when in my day do I feel stress routinely? Where do I make excuses in my life? Where am I making excuses? And a big one, where do I blame other people for what's going on in my life? Now, email me or comment below. What action will you take today? What small motion forward? Instead of going and reading another book, getting another degree, asking someone what you should do, you know what you should do. So just start doing it. Please. Please? All right. It may be hard, but it will be worth it. And I'm here for you all along the way. Let's go, warriors. I'm sending you big love. I appreciate you watching and listening or reading, however you're getting this. And thank you. Let's go get them.